It's your boy the J Factor. Welcome to another video. Appreciate y'all for coming back. Before I jump into the video, y'all probably looking at the title and you're probably like, what? Alright, hear me out. A guilty pleasure match, in my opinion, is a match that is not claimed to be good by most people, the majority of the audience, but in my opinion, I enjoy the match. By no means am I calling any of these matches classics, but they're just matches that are widely consumed as not good to horrible, but you know what I mean, in my little corner I chuckle and I enjoy it as a good match. You know what I mean? It's like saying The Flash is a good movie, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Guilty pleasure. I really like it, but like it's not really known as a good movie. But with all the stupid explaining out the way, these are my top 5 guilty pleasure WWE matches of all time. Let's go. See, I gotta stick my boy in there, my GOAT, Dave Bautista. He's my favorite wrestler of all time, against Triple H, WrestleMania 35. This one, to most people, was a stinker, you know what I mean? You got Dave way past his prime, Triple H way past his prime, moving all stiff with his stiff quads and his, I think he tore his pec around that time too, you know what I'm saying? He was just coming back from his first match from it, but was it a great 10 out of 10 match? Obviously, no. I already told you guys that going into this video. None of these matches are going to be classics, but I enjoyed it because it was Dave Bautista, my favorite wrestler, in a match against Triple H. It's a rivalry from my childhood. It's a rivalry that got Batista to the top level, to be a top guy with guys like John Cena, The Undertaker, Triple H. And I just also like how it was like an Extreme Rules kind of match, you know what I mean? They were using chains. Triple H pulled Batista's nose ring out. I think Triple H used like freaking pliers and like tried to snap Batista's fingers off. You had I think you had a Batista bomb on steel steps. You had Shawn Michaels on commentary, which really sold Shawn Michaels was playing like a JR role, you know what I mean? He was playing like the emotion, you know what I mean? He was trying to be unbiased, but he really wasn't. He was going for Triple H the whole time. You also had the being up 87-year-old Ric Flair on his birthday, which is crazy to start the feud. He was rage baiting the hell out of Triple H, and we'll all remember that iconic "Give me what I want, give me what I want" promo. Again, the match isn't a 10 out of 10 star, and it was on a freaking 12-hour long WrestleMania, being WrestleMania 35, but I did personally enjoy it, and I do wish Batista would come back, but I think that was the way he wanted to go out, and I think it was a good enough match for me personally to enjoy it. This match actually made it onto an honorable mentions list for my favorite match of all time, my top 5 list I should say. But I got Shane McMahon versus Kane 2003 Survivor Series in an ambulance match. If you haven't seen it, just go see it, you know what I mean? Again, not a 10 out of 10 classic match, but just crazy going into it. The storyline was crazy. Basically, Shane was just fighting for his family's sake. Kane was freaking tombstoning his mother. He was electrocuting Shane's balls. He was saying all this crazy stuff. He was just going crazy, man. This is freshly unmasked Kane, too. It's not like unmasked Kane in 06 where he's definitely got a big belly at this point. He's moving all slow. He's just not the same Kane he was, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, Kane with a mask will always be better than Kane without a mask. But this is like fresh unmasked Kane where he was fire for at least 6 months after he took off his mask. Great character, great theme song. But anyways, the match was crazy. Shane dropping off at the top of the damn freaking ambulance. Kane doing a tombstone on the freaking floor. You got them going to the back, which they really don't do anymore, which I really wish they would do. It was kind of like a false count anywhere kind of vibe where Shane went to the back. He was beating up Kane. He was luring him to the back, and then he like drove Kane through a freaking thing when he was in a car, and then he had an ambulance through the back. He tried to bring Kane in. Kane's like, not today. Kane throws him off the brick wall, brings him back out to the arena. It was just crazy, amazing stuff. One of the most hectic matches you'll ever see. I personally really, really enjoy it. It's one of my more favorite matches. Like, I'll go back and watch it with somebody. Like, this is one of the examples of the matches to where, like, oh, I have a friend who never watched WWE before. This is a match I'll put them on with. You know what I mean? It's not like a 45-minute Iron Man classic that they'll be like, okay, what's going on? But, like, this is, like, you know what I mean? It's more impactful. I mean, hell, for goodness sake, this match started with Shane clotheslining and jumping over and beating the hell out of Kane for the first couple minutes. But this is in my top 5 guilty pleasure matches for a reason, because it's amazing. Next up, at WrestleMania 31, I got Triple H versus Sting. Hear me out. Again, obviously this one's not really a good match, but I do love, it's more so the moment, you know what I mean? Obviously, being born in 01, I wasn't really there for a lot of NWO. NWO was kind of dead as I was joining this planet, but you get to see, you know what I mean, a lot of the stuff and on clips and DVDs and VCRs and all that, and just seeing the NWO go against DX, even if they were 30, even if this was 30 years too late. You got Scott Hall limping down, Kevin Nash with his weak quads, and to say that Hulk Hogan was the best in shape-wise at that point is just crazy to say, but I mean, he really was. But I mean, it's more so the moment. The brawl, like he said, it wasn't that good. It looked like as soon as Kevin Nash went for a punch, he went down because his quad was hurting him. But at the end of the day, the moment of like seeing DX versus NWO is fire to me, and that's why this match as a whole is in this list. This one, I'm not going to go over all the contestants. I'm just going to lump it together with 2 matches, and it's probably 12 contestants as a whole. But you got Money in the Bank 2020 as a concept. I really, really dig it because during the pandemic, you know what I mean, you really couldn't do matches in the arena because there's no fans, so they did something creative. They had a Money in the Bank held at the headquarters, and at the top of the headquarters, it's like this gigantic multi-level building, will be the Money in the Bank, and you got to grab it down and you win, basically. And you start at like the bottom level, and I just remember, like, I'm just going to list what I remember. I remember them fighting in the gym, and like somebody hit somebody with a dumbbell. They were doing like pull-ups, and then they kicked them off of a pull-up. They were waiting in elevators. There was funny moments where like I think it was like AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, I want to say, and they're beating the piss out of each other. And then like somebody punches somebody through a door, and then it's Vince McMahon in there, and they're like, oh shoot, they're like meeting in the desk. Oh, I'm sorry, boss. And then as soon as they get out, they start going crazy again. It was just super entertaining, and like they didn't have to go through and do all that crazy stuff, but it just worked, you know what I mean? And then their entrances were pretty funny and cool. It was more so funny in like a corny way because like they came out of the elevator and their theme song was playing. And then I just remember somebody jumping from the top of the elevator or something. It was just craziness. I do not love the winners. I believe Otis and Asuka won. I don't love Otis winning, but I mean, seeing the visual of like them at the top of the headquarters and then Rey Mysterio getting thrown off and just all the crazy moments like that is why this is in this list. It was really, really fun stuff. If you want to go see it, you should definitely I recommend you guys to go see it. At TLC 2018, I got The Miz and Friends. I believe it was Miz, Kane. I don't even remember who he was tagging with at this point, but it doesn't really matter. It was them versus The Shield, a.k.a. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Kurt Angle, because Roman Reigns had some kind of sickness or illness at the time or whatever. Kurt Angle just looked so out of place with his Shield gear. This joint had me dying, but it was his first match in the WWE in 12 years or whatever it was. It was just great stuff, you know what I mean? They had like a bunch of like packages going into it, and it was like super emotional. It was like warm and heart feeling, but anyways, the match kind of snapped, you know what I mean? It was like a garbage match or whatever, so like the way you win is you shove your opponents in a garbage can, or was it? I don't even remember. I don't remember why they had a garbage truck out there. I don't know if that's how you win the match, but I remember Braun Strowman was like thrown in there by Kane or something. He was chokeslamming there, and Kane turned on Braun Strowman. But anyways, it was a fun match, you know what I mean? Obviously, if you see the Shield together, it's always going to be a fun match, but you had Kurt Angle in there as well. Kurt Angle was taken out in the beginning, and they're like, oh, come on. We wait all this time to see Kurt Angle on a match, and he's taken out for half of it, and then just comes out going crazy. He's like holding his ribs, Shield jacket's all torn off, it's like hanging off of him, and he comes out, he like angle slams somebody through a table, immediately gives the Miz, then he like put somebody in an ankle lock. He was going crazy, and the Shield and Angle did end up winning the match, but this is one of the more fun matches on the list, and if you haven't seen it, go see it already. But anyways, these are my top 5 guilty pleasure matches. Again, they're matches that I personally enjoyed that may not be 10-star classics, but I do suggest you guys going back to watch them. This is your boy, The J Factor. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Peace out.